Welcome, Emily.
Hello.
How are you? What's
I'm
going
very
on?
well. How are
Please tell.
you?
Oh, I'm good. Thanks for asking. Please tell everybody about who you are and what you do.
My name is Emily. I'm in a band called Call of Sirens. I'm the singer of the band. Um, I play bass as well, but not in a band at the moment, playing bass. Just singing in Call of Sirens.
Nice. Yeah, very important lesson I learned is to make sure you mind the S at the end of the band
Yeah.
name.
Yeah.
So you play bass, you're singing in a band. What's your zodiac sign? What's your favorite crystal?
My favorite crystal is an amethyst crystal,
Ooh,
personally. I like that one. I like the color purple. Maybe that's the only reason why. Apparently it's good for your mind, so that's always a good one. I'm a Pisces. Lovely, lovely crying water sign.
I'm a Scorpio, so I like you. And
I
I'm
like you too.
wearing an amethyst right now. I'm
I
actually wearing
love
two
that.
amethysts. So we're off to a great start. So when did
Indeed.
you first realize that you loved rock and metal music and you wanted to create more of it?
Um, I only realized about 2 years ago. I was like normally a straight soul singer or a pop singer, not really anything metal at all. I liked a bit of grunge, but it was drips and drabs. It wasn't like my sole purpose. And then I wasn't in a band for a while, but I was starting to listen to heavier music. Um, and then I saw a post that Andy, the guitarist, had put on Facebook and joined. And then since then, I've fell in love with metal music more, being in a metal band.
Yeah,
That's it,
your
really.
your singing style reminds me a little of Flyleaf and Paramore,
Mm, yeah,
I loved when I was a teenager. So, plus they were both so good and it was great that they were visible and they were on like VH1.
yeah, yeah. Especially for women in that genre
Yeah, it was
and
like
in their time as well. It was very, very
mhm.
niche of them.
um so if your music were a movie soundtrack, what would the movie be about?
Oh, that's a hard one. Um, um, I would say, I don't know. It wouldn't be a love story, but more of like a. Have you seen the film Burlesque?
No, but I have heard of it.
Okay, so she kind of starts from nothing, and then she gets to somewhere, and it's quite a big somewhere. That would kind of be mine, from nothing to something, I guess.
I love that you didn't want to do any spoilers and you still managed to tell me the story. Okay, so where would your movie take place? Would it be like a horror movie? Would it be like space
Mm.
age or, yeah.
I would say kind of more of a horror vibe, I guess.
Okay, awesome.
It very yeah, very winter in the dark, and then maybe it ends up being in the summer at the end, but probably not. I like the cold weather, so
Okay, so it's like a horror burlesque set in winter. Who is the hero or heroine, and who is the antagonist?
oh, oh, that's a good question. Um, I honestly don't know. I think I'd play both.
Okay, that's actually very
Yeah,
Black Swan. I dig it.
yeah.
So, here's a new question. You're the first person to answer this one.
Oh, okay.
What have you discovered about yourself in moments when you had to make difficult sacrifices for your art?
That I don't like it. Um, um, I honestly don't know. I'm pretty good at making really difficult decisions. So for me, that's a tricky question to answer.
Well, that's
Um,
something that I guess you would learn by making those decisions is that
yeah,
you're good at doing that.
yeah,
That's
I guess
that seems
difficult decisions are quite easy.
oh good. Well, that
Yeah.
like what makes it easy for you? Are you just very good at sticking to your guns and staying true to yourself, or is it like
I think it's that as well of a mindset that it's my way or the highway. I think I'm just stuck in that kind of way, inclined.
that's really rock goddess of you. You have to kind
Yeah,
of be like that. I mean, especially because getting into a rock band as a girl, you have to be a bit pushy to get
yeah,
there.
you do,
Yeah.
you really do. Especially to like be seen. I guess you got to stick to what you're saying, and if people don't like that, then it's not my problem. I guess
Well, I think that
is what I
was
would say.
a really good first answer to this question. I think that's really good advice for people.
Mm.
And
If this is something you believe in, you've got to stay with that, really.
there
Even if it's
you
a
go.
difficult decision, you've got to stick with what you know.
Yeah, totally. Well, that's super good. For me, when it's making sacrifices for my art, I've learned that I'm like really cool under pressure.
Mm.
I generally well, I will admit that I have slapped my printer before. If it's like hardware, I don't have a lot of patience, but anyway, or learning like to ask for help and
Yeah,
then
that's a difficult one.
oh, okay.
I would
Yeah.
say asking for help can be hard.
Hmm.
I think for a
Um
lot of people.
yeah, I mean, and when you're trying to grow quite a lot, you
Mm.
really do have to have a lot of like teamwork around you, even if you
Yeah,
have all the like firepower within you.
I think what works for my band is the fact that they're all a lot older than I am, so they're way more experienced, not just in music but in life generally. So it's really easy for all of us to make decisions, I guess,
Hmm.
because it for them, I don't know, that they're a lot older. They've had this experience of making difficult decisions. It's like nothing to them. So
Good.
then watching them, it makes it easier too.
Sounds like a great team. Um,
They are pretty good.
so if you could have any three pieces of rock band memorabilia of all time, what would you like to have?
Um, is Prince rock? I would say Prince is rock.
Yeah.
I would love to have his guitar
Mhm.
because it's incredible. It is an incredible guitar. Um, I think I would love to have Tina Turner's outfit
Mhm. I
in
know.
the frilly one, the silver one. I think that's really cool.
Oh, the
Um,
silver one? Wait, which one? Because listen, I'm like a Tina Turner nerd. I'm ready to talk about Tina Turner's outfits right now.
I don't know which one it is, but in the film Tina Turner,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
pretty sure she's wearing it in that, which is meant to be the same as the video. It's like a silver, like the really thrilly one that she wears when she does Proud Mary.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's
Love
cool.
it. Okay, what would your other piece be?
Um, I think the goggles from Kurt Cobain in Nirvana, even though
Oh,
he's a
love
man,
that.
I think they're really cool.
What a look.
They're Yeah,
I
they
love
are pretty cool goggles. Glasses, I guess you could call them, but they look like goggles.
Um, so what is a comfortable balance for you between the rock star persona who has curious fans and the private individual who doesn't want to share everything?
Um, I actually struggle with that a lot because like I would say I'm still a very private person in both, as much as I post on social media and that kind of stuff. I'm just reposting what my band's posting. I'm not posting anything new, I guess. I think that can actually be really hard for me because I like talking to people when I'm at a gig and that kind of stuff, but I'm normally talking to the other band members. I don't know. I find that really difficult, to be fair, to balance both because I
Yeah.
like being private and my own person.
So I always follow this with this question. What is something you love to talk to your fans about and something that you wish people would stop asking you about?
Um, I would love to talk to them about music in general, like not just my band's music, but just music.
Hmm.
Um, and I guess get to know them a bit as well as me. I'm a very like if you ask me a question, I want to ask it back, kind of
Hmm.
way. So just having a general chat, and I don't actually think I've ever been asked that many questions, to be honest.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I don't really think I've been asked anything. Normally they beeline straight to Andy, so
Oh, okay. Well, I guess
he
that's
he's
comfy
he's
for
the
you.
yeah, he's the man, so everyone just goes to him when they have questions. But I don't think I've ever actually been asked anything.
All
Apart
right.
from being hit on, I guess
Mm.
you can say that's being asked. That can that can get kind of annoying. But
Okay.
other than that,
Yeah.
nothing
Okay.
really.
So for the fans watching this, Emily would love to talk to you about music in general, but don't
Yeah.
hit on her.
Yes, yes. The subtle hints can be very frustrating.
They're usually not subtle either. Um.
Some are, some aren't. A lot of the people that come to our gigs tend to be quite a lot older,
Oh, okay.
where the rest of our band members are older.
Mhm.
Um, so their hints are subtle, but not extremely subtle. But
Mm.
it can be a bit off-putting
Yeah.
to then
Don't
have a
even
conversation.
subtly hit on Emily. Leave her alone.
Yeah,
Just talk to
yeah,
her about
please.
music. Yeah. Don't
Normally,
even
I just want to
try.
run outside, get some fresh air, and then I can come back and talk.
Oh yeah, so actually after your set, what's the ideal amount of time for you to like cool off and refresh before you meet everybody at the merch booth?
I smoke, so for me to go outside and smoke a fag or cigarette and then go back in, I'm good. I need to get outside first.
Okay, let the girl have her cigarette
Yeah.
before you try to take a picture with her.
Yeah,
Um,
it can get really hot as well, especially if you've played after bands.
mm,
They've already been up there sweating, and then you're going up there, it's already hot, it's already
mm.
sweaty, and then you're doing like a 45-minute set, and then you can feel it just dripping, you just need to. I always run outside every single time, come off straight outside, and then I'm back and then I'll talk to everyone then.
Well, that
Normally
makes sense why
pretty
you
calm.
prefer winter.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so looking back, what was a big decision you made that turned out to be a great choice?
I think joining this band, actually. Because I never knew who the band was beforehand. I literally just saw the post on Facebook and just went for it. I'd never met these people before in my life, and I can be quite a nervous person when meeting new people.
Hmm.
So going into that alone, not knowing them, not knowing anything about them at all, apart from being in the band, that was definitely a really hard decision for me to make, but the best decision I've ever made.
Oh, yeah, love that. Um, yeah, how did you oh, you saw the post on Facebook. You keep
Mm,
saying things that remind me of Claire from Breaker. I'll put you two in a chat together. That was kind of the same way she joined her band, which is uh the guys in the band are I guess like 10 or 15 years older than she is.
yeah.
And she saw their Craigslist ad.
Wow.
Yeah, and now they're on fire and they're doing great.
It,
Um,
it the
and
world
so
works wonders.
yeah. Well, you put yourself out there. It was the same thing for her though. She was like, "Is it okay if my boyfriend comes with me to this audition?" And her boyfriend
Hmm.
is a guitarist, and they were like, "Yeah, because he can audition for guitar. We really need one." And so we both joined the band.
That worked so well in her favor.
Yeah. So, what is
Incredibly
your
well.
favorite gear and your favorite stage wear?
Um, well, I just always take just obviously just a microphone. I just take a bog standard SM50. I really need to get a new one. And I would like to get a Bluetooth plug-in. So
Hmm.
instead of having it widen, it's just Bluetooth. Then I can just
Mhm.
walk around with the mic and the wire's not in the way because I always end up tripping over it at some point.
Yeah.
Um,
In that case, let me recommend something for you because I always ask girls that question, and so I have the uh, super list of gear. So, a favorite wireless, like probably the favorite, is the
mm,
wireless Shure 87C. You can just
oh,
text me
okay.
later if you need that
Yeah,
again.
I'll definitely have a look at it.
Um, and then the Audix mics are also highly recommended. But that Shure is like the one for wireless. Apparently,
Mm,
there are people who use that who have played hundreds of shows and only
yeah,
once did the Bluetooth accidentally connect to a different device.
that's good.
Yeah, it's
That is
very good
incredible.
information. Yeah.
Yeah.
What
That
about your
that would be
favorite
really
stage wear?
hilarious if it just connected to something else.
It happened.
To me,
Um,
I would find that hilarious if it just stopped. Yeah, I'll definitely have a look at that and maybe buy one.
what's your favorite stage wear?
Um, mm, it changes all the time, really. I really like wearing dresses and skirts, but I've gotten more into wearing jeans and just big boots. I normally wear my Docs to pretty much every gig. They're comfy, they're great. Um, I do like playing with my shoes off,
Hmm.
but if I have my Docs on, I'll normally leave them on because they're a pain to get off sometimes.
Shoes off is also very flyleaf of you.
It feels really nice, especially because you can like feel everything through your feet,
Hmm.
and it just feels incredible.
Hmm.
And for me, it makes my balance better. Sometimes I'll be jumping around, and I'll just stack it because I have big shoes on, and then you
Yeah.
can't feel the floor.
And it's also a lot better for your back to jump
Mm,
around barefoot, which is really important. There are girls that have talked about like how they started to get really serious about their insoles because they have hurt their backs jumping around while they're
wow.
performing. Yeah, so we got to take care of the back. There's nothing like living
Yeah,
with back pain.
there is not.
So I should ask people what their favorite pre-show stretches. Do you have one? Or
I
post?
actually do not.
Shame on you.
I do not.
Shame,
I know.
shame. Where's the shame bell?
But normally I'm driving, so I just sing in my car, I guess. That's
Oh, I meant like a physical stretch, but we're talking
oh
about
no,
warm-up stretches now.
I do none. Absolutely none. I've normally driven and walked a long time before I've even got to the gig. So I'm tired. I'm honestly tired by the time before I've even played. It can be quite stressful sometimes actually, but it's okay.
um, what does it feel like when your intuition is speaking to you?
It reminds me that I'm not going crazy, I guess. Because sometimes you can get in your own head about a lot of things. Um, but then when it starts to feel like it's really like that isn't something is going on, then it definitely reassures me that I'm not mental. I'm not
Hmm.
just I'm not just imagining these things. They are happening. I always trust my intuition. It has not failed me once.
Do you do you know when it's like your intuition, like you just have a knowing, and like how do you sense it?
Um, it feels like my heart's dropped to my feet,
Hmm.
and like I can feel like a whole body experience like there is something seriously wrong.
Wow, you're
Um,
so in touch. Love
yeah,
that. Some people don't really know, like they haven't really
no,
like figured out how to like listen in. But yeah, a lot of people say it's a physical feeling.
it is a physical feeling, definitely. I mean, I think a big one is that you might feel it like in your head. Sometimes it feels like it's just like going
Hmm.
straight over. Like
Hmm.
someone's like, have you heard the expression of somebody's walking over your grave? Like when you just randomly shiver.
Oh yeah, like right
It
now.
it it can be
Seriously.
a bit like that, I guess.
Okay. Hmm. Yeah, I'm shivering with the thought of like gotta pay more attention to this. Um and okay, so here's a tough one. When you hit the
Okay.
inevitable flaming hoop in the circus, what helps you keep your spirits up?
Um, I think the people that I surround myself with, they are pretty good. Um, I like going on walks, so normally I do that to get me back in good spirits and kind of center myself and ground myself back to normal again. Um, I've always struggled with kind of like regulating my own emotions and being okay by myself. So trying to work on that is helping. Um,
Hmm.
it can be a tough one.
Yeah, yeah, the stuff like the moments when your album is delayed again because like you don't have your artwork or uh like your drummer breaks their foot. Um and all that kind of stuff. Somebody says that they're
Um,
pregnant and has a baby and you're like, "Oh boy, this is going to be a monkey wrench."
yeah. Um, I with the general music releasing of stuff, I have no issues with that whatsoever. It can get delayed, it cannot get delayed. I think that well, music is an art and you can't rush art.
Hmm,
So I think that in its own is just if it's delayed, people are just gonna have to deal with it, unfortunately. But you can't rush it. You
love it.
cannot rush it. I think if my drummer broke his foot, I actually think he'd still just play. He's a dedicated man.
Oh my
Um,
gosh. We must make
yeah.
choices that lead to self-care, everyone.
Um, but no, I honestly, in those situations, I don't necessarily know what we would do. I think, I guess we'd probably just postpone gigs, but we might not have even had gigs or have gigs at that point. We might be taking a little bit of a break or whatever. So I honestly don't know, but I'm pretty good with those types of things.
Hmm,
It wouldn't be me, uh, that would be stressed about it. It would definitely be our guitarist because
hmm.
he is the person that books everything, deals with the logistics of every single band thing. So it would definitely be him stressing out. I'd just be there like just waiting
Yeah.
for us to gig again or whatever and hope
So
that if anyone had hurt themselves that they were going to get better soon.
it sounds like he
Um,
should call you when he's freaking out because it sounds like you're
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
unflappable.
yeah. I'm
Um,
pretty calm.
so what's a performance memory that you'll never forget?
Um, I would say my first ever performance of Call of Sirens. We played a working men's club, which is just like a pub, really. Um, and everyone there was not there for the music at all. We were just playing because our guitarist knew them. Basically, it was like a family friend social event, and it was more the people that want to listen to, covers of pop songs and disco and that kind of stuff. So I will never forget that gig because it was just crazy. I
Yeah.
think I try and like engage them and it was just nothing. Nothing
Okay,
whatsoever.
your answer reminds me a lot of the answer that Riley from Castle Rat gave, where it was one of their first gigs where they were costumed and like
Mm,
they're really wild costumes, a lot of stage props and things, and they booked this bar, and they didn't know it was like a motorcycle club,
yeah.
and so it's all these like motorcycle gang guys, and she's in like miniature top, like singing some doom metal. Like, oh my god.
I
It's
bet
so
they kind of enjoyed that though. I feel like motorcyclists tend to like metal a little bit.
yeah, I think she was like, I mean, just watch her episode where she tells the story. It seemed like she was like a little uncomfortable in the moment that it
Yeah,
was happening because it wasn't really what they were expecting. It was just like
yeah.
another like bar full of older men that were like motorcycle, real tough motorcycle guys looking at her singing in a small costume.
Just staring.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine that was uncomfortable. It can definitely
Um,
get uncomfortable.
Okay, so that actually reminds me of when I saw uh, Cobra Spell play at Muscle Rock. And I was like, oh, I'm excited to see this all girls band. Never seen them before. And like the whole front of the audience
Was man.
of a certain age. And it was like really weird to
Yeah,
overhear what they were saying.
yeah.
I was like,
Men can be so creepy.
let's clean it up in here. So, okay, after a long day of recording and touring and working out all the kinks, how do you most like to practice self-care?
I quite like reading
Hmm.
and just sitting there reading a good book is always fun. I've started doing a bit of yoga. That
Hmm.
that's pretty good. Um, Other than that, I'd normally just have a bath, eat, and go to bed, really. I love my sleep.
Mm.
So I love getting a full 8 hours, preferably more,
Hmm.
and feeling refreshed the next day.
Oh yeah, it's such a mood elevator to get 10. Like it's actually that's the amount of hours that women need for their hormones to reset.
Mm,
Um, and then so you do yoga. Have you found a
yeah.
stretch you like in yoga?
Um, what was the one I did? It's I don't know what the stretch is called because I just watch YouTube videos and just do it from there. Um, but you kind of you lift your knee up and then you put your other leg on top of your knee and put your hands behind one of your knees and you kind of pull back.
Mm.
That feels so good on your legs. It's
Okay, there we go.
incredible.
Now we know what your
Yeah.
favorite stretch is. There was one after all. And what do you like to read?
Um, I quite like sci-fi books. I
Oh,
guess
I
big
love to
big
hear that.
sci-fi fan.
I love
But
to
I
hear
also,
that.
yeah, they are incredible books. I love a bit of sci-fi. But I do also like um sorry, someone was just staring at the car. It was rather uncomfortable.
Oh, they probably are like, she's talking to herself in her phone. Haha.
Yeah,
Wrong. She's in an
maybe.
interview because she's a rock goddess, Liza.
He was just kind of just literally just staring at the car. That was pretty weird.
Okay, this is like our best example of evidence for everything that we complain about. Hmm. Okay,
Like ready to
update.
move if I have to. And it's not my car either. But it's fine.
Locked.
What was the question?
Is your car locked?
Yeah, yeah, it's locked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we were talking about sci-fi, and I wanted
Ah,
to recommend a publisher, DMR.
I will.
Dave, who runs it, he
Mm,
publishes short stories by like rock and metal musicians, like Jason
wow.
Tarpey from Eternal Champion, and Mark the Shark from Manila Road. And I'm gonna be in the next anthology.
Go
Um,
you.
Thank you. You know, girl's gotta pull up her chair.
Of
Um,
course.
so anyway, yeah. Uh, anyway, everything he publishes is sci-fi, and it's all like contemporary swords and sorcery stuff.
Mm. That's what I like. I like witches and wizards and all of that kind of good stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I just
I
well,
I
I'll
do
link
like
link.
general fiction as well.
Cool. Do you have any
Like
favorites?
uh there's a book and film called The Lovely Bones. I don't know if it's a true story, um, but I really enjoyed that book and film. I watched the film first and then I did read the book. But that is an incredible read.
Awesome.
I
Okay.
don't want to spoil it, but it is really good.
You're great at not spoiling movies and books.
If I tell you, it literally I would have to tell you the whole thing.
Okay. Well,
I can't. If I just tell you one thing, you'd get the whole gist of the book, and then it just ruins it.
oh, you should actually join my Metal Rock Goddess book club. It's
I'd love
comprised
that.
of all of these girls in these interviews, and we focus on sci-fi fantasy in our reading.
Hmm.
So maybe this book would fit for a suggestion for one of the months of the book club.
Yeah, that sounds good.
We're reading Spear this month, and also for a reading side quest, we're doing a biography of Joni Mitchell.
Ah,
Yeah, I'm super excited to read that. She
yeah,
she's a very interesting person. She painted all her album covers. Anyway,
that's incredible.
yeah, amazing. And so I can't wait to learn more about her. So, do you have any new announcements for us?
Um, my band has a song coming out on Friday. We have another song coming out at some point next year. I think it's like end of January,
Hmm.
I believe. Uh, what else? We're playing in Bournemouth, which is in the UK. Um, I can't remember where. I think it's called the Four Horsemen, which should be good. We're playing with a band called Nema or Nema. I don't know how to say their name, but that's another female fronted rock slash metal band. What other announcements? We have some good things in the works for next year. I can't hint them yet, but there's stuff going on which we're very excited to have out next year, which will be good.
Wow,
Um,
tons of announcements. So many
yeah,
things
yeah,
coming up and going on. What's up?
yeah.
Where can everybody listen to your music and how can they follow what you do?
You can follow us on Instagram. It's Call of Sirens UK. We have songs on Spotify, which is just Call of Sirens. Um, I'm pretty sure there is some stuff on YouTube. Uh, yeah, that's it, really. And a link tree, which is also on the Instagram.
Nice. All right, so that's where they're going to find out everything about your upcoming shows too, right?
Yep.
Okay, so good. All right, so we always finish with the vinyl game. If you've ever seen any episodes of this show before, it's always the same game. I'm going to hold up two pieces of vinyl and you'll pick one that you want
Okay.
to say something about or you want to ask a question about.
Okay.
Shaka Khan or Santa?
Oh, I've got to ask about Shaka Khan.
She is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Um,
Wow.
Probably most famous for the song that she did that was written by Stevie Wonder called Through the Fire. But my
Hmm.
favorite work that she did was when she sang on a Rick Wakeman album, the keyboardist of Yes. And it's like Rick Wakeman and funky and fiery and so good.
Wow.
So good. Yeah.
I haven't
Love
necessarily
that.
listened to a lot of her music, apart from, I guess, her more popular stuff, but she's incredible.
She is. I mean, her range, she has full power belt like from alto 2 to soprano 1.
Yeah, that's
So
incredible.
I know it was
She is an incredible woman.
so much um so much. Yeah, and she was so gorgeous. I loved when she had that red hair.
Mm,
So, next up, I did this kind of randomly because you and I had to meet a little earlier, and so
okay.
I'm doing really random pairings. So, Barbara Streisand or King Woman.
What did you say the other one was?
One is
That
King
one.
Woman.
Oh, what's that one? I don't think I've ever heard of them.
I would classify it as doom.
Okay.
Yeah. And apparently a really good live show, though I have never seen
Mm,
that. And then with Barbara Streisand, I love some of the bass lines in her music, but my favorite song by her would be Woman in Love.
nice. I can't say I've ever actually listened to Barbra Streisand.
Right? Like she's such a funny, warm actress, and she is a great singer. I mean, she was in the musical Hello Dolly, and
Yeah,
it has like fantastic costumes, as cute as My Fair Lady. But
yeah.
yeah, she actually recorded a lot of albums.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
fun fact of the day. Every day is a school day.
Every day is a school day when you're learning about how amazing women are, which everybody should be
Yes,
doing all the time.
they
So,
should. They definitely
Cher
should.
or Tina Turner.
Oh, I'm. Oh, that's actually really difficult. I love Sharon. I love Tina. I'm gonna have to go with Tina.
You can actually say something about either one. What do you want to say about Cher?
Um, I think she is incredible. I love Cher. Um, she is also in the film Burlesque.
Ah, that's what I thought. Okay, she's like the one that gives
Yeah.
the guidance. Is Christina Aguilera the lead in that movie?
Yeah, yeah, and then Cher's like the yeah, basically the guidance, I guess.
So
It's a
Christina
really, it's
Aguilera,
really a film.
and
Mm,
I bet she's going to do her rock and roll dirty look on the tour.
yeah, I hope so.
Me
I
too.
do love Christina. She's definitely one of my icons.
Yeah, and that the way she looked in her dirty era, like created that scene
Mm,
girl look in
yeah.
the early 2000s. Um, yeah, Cher had a great little metal phase in there with like the song "You Wouldn't Know Love," but she also had that huge hit when she was in like her 50s or 60s. I can't think of how old she was now, but she, released "Believe," the whole album "Believe," and
Mm,
the song "Believe" was the biggest hit of her career, and she was
yeah.
certainly a hit maker. So everybody should believe that they will be like Cher and have
Yeah.
a
And she used a
fabulous.
lot of auto tune in that, didn't she? Like on purpose in that song.
Say it again.
I think it's that song. In that song, is that song do-do-do-do-do? I'm pretty sure it was that one. Where auto tune became like a really big thing to use in general, and I'm pretty sure she used it in that song.
Oh, totally.
Not in a way of like auto tuning her voice, but just because of how it sounded, I guess.
Yeah, as like a dance effect. It was like
Yeah.
a way to mix the music. Um, but I also really love the song "Taxi Taxi" from that album.
Mm.
So, what do you want to say about Queen Tina?
She's a queen. What else is there to say? She is incredible, and her story is incredible.
So true. She also had a great act too. Her
Yeah.
biggest, she didn't get a Grammy until she was 44 and she had four kids and was a single mom.
Hmm.
So, once
She had to
again,
leave Ike first.
she says to us, "You don't need him." Anyway, um, so yeah, Tina and Cher here to remind us that women just don't expire.
No, they do
Just
not.
never do. Yeah.
They are incredible, incredible women. Incredible. They did so much with their lives too.
Girl School or Janis Joplin?
I'm gonna ask about Janis Joplin.
What do you love about Miss Janis?
I think that her voice is just something else.
I will say I'm a huge fan of Etta James, but
Me too.
Janis Joplin did Piece of My Heart
Mm,
better than
yeah,
Etta did, which is
yeah,
pretty astounding because Etta James is
yeah.
so good. But I
She
will
is.
say I prefer the Janis version.
I can agree with you on that one. Both of them are really good, but Janis definitely does better. I think it's just the way that it's sung though, and the way that Janis just sounds in general so different to Etta James.
Yeah. Okay, so honestly, one of the best covers anybody did. Tough thing to do to outdo Etta. So Joan Jett or Blondie?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, I love Blondie, but I'm gonna go with Joan Jett,
What do you
I
love
think.
about Joan Jett?
Um, I just think her songs and just the way that they are, the way that they're written, the way that they're sung, what they're about. Like the her, it is her who did Bad Reputation, isn't it?
Um, yeah, that
Yeah,
well, that was not on this album, but um, do you have is that your favorite Joan Jett song?
I would say so. Yeah,
Mine is Crimson and Clover.
that's a good song.
Yeah. And then okay, so last pair, both
Okay,
newer bands,
okay.
Mean Mistreater or Burning Witches.
I'm gonna ask about Burning Witches. I don't know anything about either of those bands, but that one sounds cool,
So
and the cover looks cool.
Burning Witches. Mean Mistreaters from Austin, super good, like thrashy rock and metal, like thrash metal rock and roll.
Yeah,
And Burning Witches, definitely like classic metal. Kind of hard for me to categorize, but one of my friends just played uh her album release party. Danica from Viper Witch, who also is
yeah.
in the series, she just played her album release show with Burning Witches. I saw them
Wow,
in Mexico City. They do a really great job of booking shows with girls, and they're a European
that
band.
that's
So
good.
yeah, like I think
That is good.
I every time I've seen like a show set up for them, they have at least one other band with girls in it.
That's what we tend to do, to be fair. If Andy's booked gigs, we tend to normally always have a female fronted band or all female fronted bands.
So I'm also going to put you in my group chat for the UK Rock Goddesses. It's a playlist
Okay.
in here as well. So the group chat is like great for like learning about like venues and saying like, "Oh, we're planning a gig here, is anybody available?"
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. And also just like forging the chains that bind us.
Yes, definitely. I agree.
So that is it for today. Thank you so much for your time. I know you're on the
Thank you for
road.
having me.
Yeah. All right, keep in touch. I'll send you all the things.
Thank you so much. I hope you have a lovely day. It is day for you, isn't it?
Still daytime. Yep.
Yep. Have a lovely day. Bye.